can't I sleep more than 6 hours on the weekend? Like, I need to catch up on my sleep, and I just can't. I just want like a nice 9 hours of sleep or something, but no. I only sleep for 6 hours, and then my brain's like, okay, time to get up, and my body's like, please no. So the first thing I want to do is start dyeing my hair because it's going to be in my hair for a while. So first I'm going to go with a blonde, which I actually already showed you guys. I just picked it up from Superstore. I got L'Oreal Excellence Cream. It's what I usually get. I just got a different shade than usual. It's actually slightly lighter, and it's just because it was on sale, and I've never purchased it before because it's new. It says new. And so I'm going to try this stuff, and it should work well. I don't know. So my hair still has a bit of hairspray in it from yesterday, and that could affect how the color sticks. So for the blonde hair dye, it doesn't really matter because I'm only dyeing my roots anyways. But when I rinse out the blonde dye, I'm going to shampoo the front of my hair a bit just to get rid of that hairspray so that the color dye can stick better. So we've got this little tab on the side of the box that shows you which color you got. It's handy to hang on to this so you don't forget because I forgot. And anyways, so here we have the developer cream. We've got a little nozzle for the top of this, but I don't use this because these kind of applicators are actually really hard to use. It's just pointless. I've got the instructions, and there's a pair of gloves inside. Then you've got this deep conditioning treatment. It is really nice. Makes your hair feel super nice. I actually have a ton of them left over from other times I've dyed my hair because I always forget to use them. And then here's the color cream itself. And then we've got this little pre-color serum, and this stuff makes your hair tangle so bad. The ends of your hair feel like they're sticking together, and when you're trying to like maneuver your hair around while you're dyeing it, it just makes a huge tangly mess, and I end up tearing out tons of hair. So this is meant to protect your hair, but seriously, for me it does more damage than good, so I usually just chuck this in the garbage before I even start. So this over here is my little hair dye kit. I've got a couple bowls that I got from the dollar store. They came in a set, and I use this big one for the green dye, and then I use this small one here for the blonde dye. And then I've got a couple brushes. I use this one for the teal dye, obviously, and then that one I use for the blonde. And I just got some spare gloves. I also have, these ones are nicer because the place I used to get my dye at, they would give you a free pair of gloves with each bottle, but I had to order from somewhere else last time because the place I usually order from is out of stock. And then of course there's the hair dye, and some of the bottles I keep upside down because there's not much left, and then I just let the color sink to the bottom so that the next time I dye my hair I can easily get it out. So I just mixed in the color cream and the developer, and whew, it's assaulting my nose. And then I just mix it all up, and then I can start dyeing. I find that using a brush helps me get better coverage, and it makes less dye go a longer way, because my hair is like, it's not really long, but it's long enough that sometimes one box of dye doesn't feel like enough, but if I apply it using this brush, it's wonderful and I can get enough coverage. And also with this color, I'm just doing my roots, obviously, so this is going to for sure be enough. But yeah, I just really recommend a brush. It just makes my life so much nicer instead of trying to squeeze the color out of this stupid bottle. Also, I will not be using the gloves because this stuff does not stain your hands, like it's blonde hair dye. And I'm not concerned about getting it on my skin, so I usually save the gloves for when I do the color. Oh my god, how do I have so many pairs of gloves left? Like, these purple ones, I thought this was all I had left, and then I found this in the corner of my box, and I'm like, whoa, how do I have so many left over? I use a pair every time I dye my hair. I just changed into my hair dye t-shirt. It's the one I wear whenever I dye my hair so that I don't get my clothes all dirty. And you can see all the teal that's on it. So my technique is I'll brush on some dye, and then like I'll do both sides of the parting, and then I use my comb or the end of the brush to flip. I usually use, actually I think the end of the brush, and then I hold the comb in my other hand to brush this side down and comb this over, and then I use the brush to like do both sides of this part, and then I keep moving lower and lower and lower. I do both sides, and then I do the back of my hair, and getting in my face. And so basically I have the comb in one hand and then the dye brush in the other hand. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to film this, so I'll have to swap a little bit. I'm only going to show you kind of like a quick demo. I'm not going to show my whole hair dye process because that would be boring. So I'm like looking in the mirror to make sure I'm brushing the right spot. I can't see if I'm filming the right angle. Oh, and also I know you're not supposed to get hair dye on your scalp, but honestly it doesn't irritate my skin, and I would much rather get the color right to my scalp so that my roots don't get noticeable as quickly. Because that's one thing I noticed about hairdressers. They never dye my hair to the roots. And I'm like, dude, I can already see my roots slightly. Like, Jesus. So I just parted my hair over a little bit. And now just getting this section of the roots. I like to really make sure I get all of my roots because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to dyeing my hair. I really want it to look good. And I feel like when people dye their hair a bright color, like, I feel like you need to maintain it. If you've got like 2 inches of roots and your color is faded to hell, like, it looks so bad. And it gives colored hair a bad name. So I just really like to maintain my hair color so it looks good all the time. So I'm basically going to continue with this process until my whole head is covered, and then I actually like pretend it's shampoo and kind of like lather it into my hair, which I know again is bad. You're not supposed to rub it into your scalp, but I just want to really make sure I get all of my roots. So while I'm dyeing the rest of my hair, I'm going to play some music on my phone because that's just what I do. It just helps the time pass and you can like sing and dance while you're doing your hair and it makes it more fun. So yeah, so I've got the dye in, and now I'm probably just going to tidy up my apartment while I let this sit for a bit, and then I'll rinse it out. So I left the dye in for about half an hour, and I'm going to rinse it now. The box says to leave it in for 10 minutes if you're just dyeing your natural hair color, and to leave it in for 30 minutes if you're dyeing on top of an existing color. So I always just do 30 just because even though my roots are my natural color, I just like to kind of get the maximum effect, so I just leave it on for as long as I can. So now I'm going to hop in the shower, rinse out the dye, and then I'll blow dry my hair, and then I'll do the teal dye. So here's the after color. My camera really sucks at picking up the colors nicely. Like, this is actually, like, it definitely looks faded, but it looks like it also got brighter. So it almost, like, right now it looks better than it did before I put the blonde dye in, so it's pretty cool. That's why I do like to put the blonde dye all over, just to brighten it up, because the color does darken over time. And yeah, this color does lighten my hair more than the other color I used. It's the exact same L'Oreal Excellence Cream, and I think the other color was A01, and this is AA01. Although this did start to burn my scalp at a certain point when I was dyeing it. It doesn't normally, like the other color didn't do that. So I don't know if the improvement is worth it or not. I kind of think it is because it did a pretty good job at lightening my hair. But yeah, now I'm going to move on to the color dye. So these are the 4 colors I currently have. I mainly just use 2 colors, but it's because I started out using these 2 here. So there's Fishbowl, which is a light turquoise blue, and then there's Sonic Green, which looks the same in the bottle, but it's actually more of a darker turquoise, like a teal color. And so initially I'd mix those 2, like a light blue and then the dark teal. And then I decided I wanted to try to lighten it a bit, so I bought this Iguana Green, which is a light green. But this stuff is so overpowering. So then there's this color here. It looks purple. Well, actually on my camera it doesn't look purple, it looks blue. In real life it looks purple. But it is blue. It's called Electric Blue. Or Blue Haired Freak. Wait, what? I thought I bought Electric Blue. My mind is like ripped upside down right now. I've been telling everyone I've been using Electric Blue. Okay, it's actually Blue Haired Freak. Okay. Blue Haired Freak. And this is a dark blue. So what I started doing was doing the dark blue with the dark teal. But I just found out I had more of this the last time I did my hair. I thought I used all my Fishbowl, so I'm going to mix in some Fishbowl too, and maybe like a dab of this, just to kind of use these up, because the Sonic Green and Blue Haired Freak are the ones I use the most. So I just found this in my hair dye box. It turns out my previous color was A, not A01. It's funny because this bowl used to rinse out clean, but at one point it just kind of stopped, and it got like this weird kind of tie-dye effect, which is pretty cool. By the way, these special effects hair dyes are conditioner based, so it's nothing at all like the blonde hair dye I just used. It doesn't damage your hair, doesn't stink like ammonia or whatever. And I actually toss in a bit of conditioner just to increase the volume of the hair dye, just so it's kind of easier to spread around. So this big back section is Blue Haired Freak. I've got Fishbowl, then I've got Sonic Green, and then a bit of Iguana Green. And now we mix it all together. So here's the mixed color. You can tell by the edges that it looks very, very blue, and that's because it is. I dye my hair mostly blue. It does, like, my hair is already green, plus in blue and yellow make green, so it will look teal when it's on my head. And when it fades, it turns more and more green. That's why my hair is blue at first, and then it slowly turns to green. Alright, here we go with the blue. Alright, so I just put in the blue dye, and I normally put a shower cap on top, but I don't have any more, so I gotta make sure I don't bump into walls or anything. And yeah, I'll just let this sit for maybe like an hour or two. I mean, it really doesn't need to be in that long, but I just kind of like to make sure it's in long enough for the color to really seep in. And it's conditioner based, so it's like a deep conditioning treatment, so it's really good for my hair to leave it in for a long time. So yeah, I'll probably do a couple hours at least, and I'll just clean my apartment some more, do some laundry in the meantime, and yeah. So full screen support said they wouldn't get back to me until Monday because it's the weekend, and I didn't want to wait that long on that video copyright dispute thing, so I just deleted this short version of the Elsa video, and I swapped out the music, and I'm gonna try re-uploading it. It's just exporting right now. And I actually found a song that's the exact length of my video, 5 minutes and 27 seconds, so that was pretty funny. So I'm hoping that this one doesn't get improperly flagged, because that's gonna be really annoying. And it sucks because the song that got ID'd previously, it was the wrong song that they ID'd, but that song was my favorite out of all the songs I downloaded the other day. And it's the one that I can't use now unless I want to have these disputes every time I upload a video, so kind of sucks. I was getting cold and I wanted to wear my robe, but I don't want to get dye on my robe, so I just kind of tucked in a towel and folded it around. And yeah, that's my little solution. So here's the finished color. It's like, well, it's wet still, so you can't even really tell. It's a dark teal color, but I'm just going to let it air dry because I really don't want to blow dry my hair again. I think my hair has been through enough today, so I'm just going to let it air dry. I haven't even brushed it out because I want it to be a little bit curly, and if I brush it, it'll just go straight. Okay, the bus is getting in the way. So I'm on my way to 7-Eleven with Jacob, and look at this house. It is so decked out. Oh my gosh. You know how I love the Christmas lights. By the way, Jacob's vlogging too. Vlog war. I'm trying to walk backwards, it's not working.
You're gonna walk into traffic.
Oh yeah, I will. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna stop this. So beef jerky was on sale, 2 for $9, so I got a couple of those, and I got my iced coffee. And Jacob just ran upstairs to get some macaroni. We're gonna make some mac and cheese while watching the Glenix live stream. I got my mac and cheese here in my Ariel bowl. So Jacob made this caramel cake. He basically took caramel chocolate bars and put them in the cake, and oh my god, this is so good. So Jacob just left, and basically after Glenix stopped live streaming, we watched the Justin and Flynn do a Pokemon live stream, and we found out he was using this program that makes it so you can check whether or not an egg is shiny before it hatches. And the way it works is your trainer has a trainer shiny value, and then each Pokemon has a shiny Pokemon value. And if your trainer shiny value matches the Pokemon shiny value, that Pokemon will be a shiny. So basically this program lets you check the Pokemon's shiny level. So not only can you tell if you hatch it whether or not it'll be shiny, you can tell, like let's say you know some of your friends' trainer shiny values. If it matches one of their values, if they hatch the egg, it'll be shiny. If you hatch it, it won't be shiny. So it's just like basically a way to tell whether or not you're going to get a shiny before you even hatch the egg. And it took us a while to get the program up and running because we were having some technical difficulties. We finally figured out how to make it work, and it's pretty cool. It's a cool technique. So we were doing that for a while, and yeah, and now it's past midnight now, so I'm probably going to end the vlog here. And I know today's vlog was mostly about my hair, but that's kind of what I was doing all day, and I did want a vlog that was mostly about my hair, so I finally got that done, and yeah. So good night guys, I will see you tomorrow. Oh my god, I just remembered something I was going to tell you guys in yesterday's vlog, but I forgot. Not last night, but the night before, I dreamt about Mark Curly, and this is how it went. Basically in the dream, I was at work, working at my desk, and then I checked I don't know if I was checking Twitter or something. It was like I was checking emails, but somehow it was like Mark sent a picture on Twitter to